doing all right.
That's good.
Yeah, so I went camping this weekend.
Okay.
I went to the Beverly Beach Camp Out, which is a huge NA function that I'm very active in NA. And one of my best friends, who I've been in recovery from day one, we were in treatment together. We moved to the same clean and sober housing together. And then we advanced from that clean and sober housing to another clean and sober housing, a family housing project. And we've been side by side in our recovery for over 2 years. And she's my life, she's my recovery life. The downside of that is she's a very negative person. And it's like the farther we get in recovery, she's not growing, she's not changing, she's not learning, and it seems like we're still stuck in her attitude at day one. I mean, she's very negative, she's hard to be around, and it's breaking my heart. I mean, she means the world to me. And I had to spend this last weekend with her, and it's like, after a half a day, I just didn't even want to be there with her anymore. It's horrible.
Yeah. You're feeling torn, but there's this good friend who's been a huge support to you during your recovery process, someone that you've shared a lot of experiences with. So you have this history, but she's also a source of negative energy for you.
Big time. And it breaks my heart, because it's like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to tolerate even being around her. And that's horrible to say. It's like one day we're fine, and then the next day she just, like this weekend, it was nonstop negative outbursts from her. I just want to go home, or, just horrible behavior. And we shared the campground. I had my children there. She had her children there. Another friend of ours that's in recovery was there with his children. And it's like all these kids are put through this turmoil because I don't even know what's wrong with her. I know she's dealing with her own stuff, but I mean, come on, we're 2.5 years into this stuff, and there should be some resolve, I think, with her, and there's just not. She just doesn't seem to be growing, and it's hard to be around her. I don't know if I can, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to keep I don't even let her babysit my kids, because she's just mean and nasty to her own children, yelling and screaming, and whenever she gets mad at somebody else, she takes it out on her kids, and not physically, but mentally, yelling and screaming, and it's rough, and it's hard, because there's the other side of that, where she's my life, and she's my main support, and if I'm having a bad day, she's the one I turn to, and she's the one that picks me up when I'm falling down, and so it's like night and day. I just don't even know where to go with her right now, and it's just really hard.
Yeah. So you're feeling conflicted.
Yeah.
And you're feeling frustrated. Not only are you feeling frustrated, but you're feeling resentful of with this past weekend, with this big event where you were sharing company with people that you care about, that both of you care about, and her negative energy and contribution was really draining.
Yeah.
And also with the presence with your kids.
Oh, yeah.
Being frustrated with the energy that she's exposing them to as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you say the resentments, that's huge, because that's really a big one there. It's huge. Yeah, because that's part of, recovery, is working through resentments and stuff. And for the last year, it's been nothing but one big giant resentment with her. And it's just been building and building and building. And I'm glad I have somebody I can turn to, my spouse, who, I talk to a lot, and he's good ears. He listens well and doesn't judge either one of us. He cares very much for both of us. But, and I have a sponsor who knows well. But there's been times where our friendship has been tested, and there's been resentments built on top of one another, and I tend to let things slide. I tend to look the other way, or, try to be understanding and forgiving with her, and I just, and then her girls, I love them to death, there's this understanding that if anything happens to her girls will be mine, and that's by their choice. So, I mean, that's huge to show you what kind of relationship we have is, these girls have asked for me to be the guardian of them if anything happens to their mom. So there's that, you know, there's that side of the relationship, and then there's that other side where it's just, and she knows it too, and it's like, she knows she's mean, and she knows she's negative, and she knows she's a lot to deal with, but she doesn't do anything to change it. And it's like, how long are you supposed to, you know, I know I'll never go camping with her again, that's for sure. That's a given, you know, I just won't. I mean, and that's not just my choice, that's my spouse's choice too, you know, it's not fun, and I'm a very passive and fun kind of gal, I want to be free, you know.
Yeah. I'm honestly feeling a lot of respect for you right now, because as you're describing your friendship and your relationship with her, just hearing the way that you're describing the fact that you have a lot of concern for her and are conscientious of the history that you share and the trust that her kids have in you. I mean, that's a lot of history, and I feel compassion and respect.
Oh yeah, thank you. No, and it is. It's really, it's like I said, it's two huge things, you know. It's like the good and the bad. And like we've been this duo from the beginning, you know, like it's been like the two of us, you know, and anywhere one of us show up, the room knows, where's the other one, you know, and it's been that kind of friendship, and but people don't see what happens on the inside of that, you know, and the nasty emails I get from her sometimes if I say something wrong, or you know, the F off, I don't need you, and I think a lot of that is a direct reflection of the people she's had in her life, you know, like the people that have always just said screw you and left her, you know, and I've told her about a year ago we really got into this huge thing, and I said it's not gonna be that easy to get rid of me, you know, it's just not, you know, I haven't invested in this relationship just for you to be able to tell me to F off so easily and me be done with you. This isn't how friendship works, and it's not how it's going to work with me. So regardless of what happens between us, we're going to get through it, and we're going to be okay. So, you know, say what you got to say, but I ain't going anywhere, you know, and I think that at that point, I was hoping at that point, we didn't talk for a couple of days after that, and so I was hoping at that point when we started to talk again that she would. And it has changed since then, but it seems like it's kind of seeping back into that old, where she thinks that she runs the show, kind of, I don't even know how to explain it, where she thinks that it's okay to treat me the way she you know, to be so negative around me, and she knows I can't stand it. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's going to be. And I've set boundaries with her. I don't want to end this friendship, but I don't know how much longer it's going to last. And that's so horrible to say. Yeah. It just breaks my heart to even say that.
Well, you're feeling unsupported.
Oh, big time.
Because you're wanting to have this.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. You're feeling unsupported because you're feeding into this friendship that that you've obviously invested a lot of time into, and a lot of emotion and a lot of compassion and concern for her, but you're not getting back what you've invested as far as her sending abusive emails and saying things to you that aren't supportive to you as a friend. And you feel frustrated.
Oh, I'm extremely frustrated. You know, I am.
You feel angry.
Oh, I'm extremely angry. Yeah, more often than not, I'm extremely angry, and it eats away, and that's not healthy. Mm-hmm. It's not healthy at all for me. You know, like that's such a harsh feeling to walk around with, mm-hmm. and I walk around with it a lot with her, and it's unhealthy, and I know it's damaging me, and it's not only damaging me, but my whole family, you know, they feel it, my kids feel it, my spouse feels the sense, you know, when me and her are going at it, I'm not the same person, and that's not fair to them, or her, or me, or my kids, or my spouse, that's not fair to anybody around me. You know, I'm in school, it affects me, and just having that stress in your body isn't healthy. Mm-hmm. So that, you know, I got to take care of me.
So you're not only feeling livid, but you're feeling exhausted.
Yeah.
And just exhausted and drained.
Yeah, I do. I'm really exhausted with her. But yeah, I am. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it seems like I'm gonna have to put up some new boundaries pretty soon.
Mhm.
'Cause it seems like the other ones are kind of fading. So I think that's what I'm gonna have to do.
So you're feeling determined because you are seeing steps that you are wanting to take to reinforce boundaries that you've already set, but also honoring needs that you know you have to move forward in this friendship, but getting what you need from it that you haven't been getting.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, it's like I've done it before with her, so I know I can do it again, you know, and I think that eventually she's just, you know, I'm hoping for her sake and her children's sake and everybody else's sake that's around her that she grows and learns how to not be so negative, because it'll benefit her. But I think for now, for the time being, those boundaries are going to have to be set so I can, for my own protection, you know, it's going to happen. You know, I have to protect me and mine,
Mm-hmm.
and just know that this isn't, it's not okay what she does.
Yeah. So you're feeling self-preservation.
Certainly.
Yeah. Yeah. So what this all adds up to is you have this complex friendship with your friend that you've gone through recovery with, and she's been a huge ally and person next to you as you've gone through experiences together, and you're feeling concern for some of the decisions and attitudes that she makes and has.
Mm-hmm.
You're feeling exhausted
Mm-hmm.
with the negativity and toxic energy and language that she uses with you. You're feeling protective when it comes to her kids and your kids, with what energy they're exposed to.
Yeah, I am.
You're feeling reflective.
Yeah, very, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
What was that? The beeper that went off? Was that?
Yeah.
Minutes? Oh wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was your phone ringing. Because I thought it was going to be a vibrate.
I did too. We're good.
I thought we were going to be short. Oh gosh, that's funny.
No, that's why I was like, we're good.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. It was supposed to be on vibrate. Here, let's
No.
stop this because that was awesome, Sel.